Subscribe or they will haunt you. What funny and light-hearted films are good for a pizza night? An oldie but My Cousin Vinny. My favorite comedy of all time. The Great Outdoors. Fun Aykroyd / candy flick from the 80s. Big Bear. Big Bear Chase. Big Bear Chase Me. Tremors. A little bit scary. A lot funny. Always a crowd pleaser. Tremors is my go-to movie when I want to watch something awesome and zone out. Clue. Just watched this the other night. What an unexpectedly crazy movie. I have a hard time deciding between this and Rocky Horror as my favorite Tim Curry film. Both are outstanding in very differently weird ways. The best Tim Curry film is any Tim Curry film. But seriously, those two are the best. Rocky Horror has more of a special place in my heart though. My mom loves it, so I've been time warping since I was like 6. Spaceballs or Galaxy Quest by Grapthus Hammer. What a savings. Alan Rickman can put so much rage, disgust, sorrow, shame, and indignation into a line that you'd swear it was a McRib. Edit. My first gold. I'd like to thank the Academy, Alan Rickman, even McDonald's, but mostly Scene Baby, since it's his quote. Hot Fuzz. For the greater good. The Emperor's New Groove. Pull the lever Kronk. Kronk is iconic. Uncle Buck. Or any movie starring John Candy. He always delivered. Big Trouble Little China. When some wild-eyed 8-foot-tall maniac grabs your neck, taps the back of your favorite head up against the bedroom wall, and he looks you crooked in the eye, and he asks you if you paid your dues, you just stare that big sucker right back in the eye. And you remember what old Jack Burton always says at a time like that. Have ya paid your dues, Jack? Yes, the check is in the mail. Anything by Mel Brooks, Robin Hood Men in Tights, Young Frankenstein, or either of the producers. I love the producers, but getting Springtime stuck in my head sucks. Can't exactly belt that out in the grocery store. Blast from the Past. Rad Race. It's so silly and ends on a silly sing-along high. It's a race. It's a race. It's a race. I'm whining. Back to the Future. Always. I was 9 when it was released in cinemas, so for me, it was always an utter classic because everything. Marty's clothes. His references. Everything about his realistic normal life was what I knew. That made the 1950s stuff more entertaining because it was so far away from the reality of 1985. Now people watch it and all of it is historical. 2020 is 35 years from 1985. That's longer ago than Marty travels back to in the film, 1985 to 1955. Game night. Yeah, I really didn't expect to enjoy that movie near as much as I did. GF and I laughed our asses off the whole time. Planes, trains, and automobiles. But only at Thanksgiving. School of Rock. Those that can't do, teach. And those that can't teach, teach Jim. Wayne's World is always good. Best in Show. Waiting for Guffman. And for your consideration, as well. Wallace and Gromit. Airplane. That movie started my drinking problem. Throws glass of water directly into eye. The Princess Bride. The Princess Bride. Have fun storming the castle. And in a similar fantasy / romance / comedy vein, Stardust. One of Matthew Vaughn's most underrated. What We Do in the Shadows. Absolutely wonderful. There's lots of blood though, vampires, so it's not really kid friendly, maybe. Also, just to stick with Taika Waititi, who's amazing. Thor, Ragnarok. I think it's enjoyable, even if you don't watch any other Marvel movies, or don't like Marvel movies. Woodward's is great. TV show is good too, though it goes for a raunchier style. Very light even if they're horror themed. Shrek. What a movie. Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Oh, the weather outside is weather. In all the Paul Rudd roles, this one is easily my favorite. I quit wearing my watch when I moved out here. Oh, that's cool. My cell phone has a clock, so I don't need it. Death Becomes Her. It's weird and hilarious. Highly underrated film, but I try to only watch it around Halloween time. 3 Amicus. Knives Out. It's not as serious as the trailer makes it look. I thought the trailer made it look not so serious and kind of over the top goofy in a lot of ways. I was pleasantly surprised really to find it more serious, but in a Wes Anderson kind of way, without all the pastels. Ferris Bueller. Also, not quite a movie, but my go-to is the John Mulaney specials on Netflix. Amazing movie, and Street Smarts gets me every time. So I married an axe murderer. His head is like an orange on a toothpick. Speech is great. Toy Story, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, Life of Brian, Clueless, The Fling Castle of Howl. Translation of the title in Italian I don't know if it's different in English. I think you're referring to Howl's Moving Castle, The Fifth Element, The Sandlot. You're killing me Smalls. Ocean's 11 my friend. If you have extra time, do the whole Ocean's series, even 12 has its moments. Watched recently, hadn't for many years, because I thought it was about a boat, but turns out it's not. Enjoyed. Wreck-It Ralph. Thanks Satan. It's pronounced Satine actually. Super Troopers. I'll wait for a better suggestion. Chicken Flukers. Just get a large fava. Tropic Thunder. You never go full retard. Oscar nominated. The Three Flavors Cornetto Trilogy. Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End. Marathon those bastards. Thank me later. A list of stupid fantastic movies my friends and I watched in college. Tucker and Dale vs Evil. Big Fish. Wet Hot American Summer. Without a Paddle. Step Brothers. Kung Fury. Monty Python Holy Grail. Bill and Ted. Hot Tub Time Machine. Ocean's 11. Scott Pilgrim. Shaun of the Dead. Hot Fuzz. Fargo. That's actually where we went to school, so the whole movie was like one big joke. Butter. Clerks. Mallrats. Dogma. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Super Troopers. Napoleon Dynamite. Cabin in the Woods. Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness. Blues Brothers. Edit. I stand by my statement. Evil Dead 1 is fucking funny. Maybe I'm just a psychopath, but I love it. Edit. Some movies I missed. Eurotrip. Mean Girls. Hot Rod. Blazing Saddles. A Knight's Tale. The Big Lebowski. Kill Bill. Grave Encounters. Another horror movie, but we love that shit in my friend group. Superbad. Bridesmaids. Starship Troopers.